loosening up here.
Yeah, there should be a massage. Well, there is one. Yeah, there is. That's weird. This lady, has she hit you up at the Comedy Store? This lady hanging out. She's like, "Hey, I do a podcast where I massage you."
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
I hear she's good.
Yeah.
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 Are you gonna do it?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it for way too long because I do want a massage, but I don't know if that's the price I want to pay. Maybe I'll just pay for a regular massage.
I guess Maz Jabrani just did it.
Whoa!
I know.
He
Big
just
get.
opened it up.
Big get. Yeah.
So now I got it.
I like how everything like in LA has a theme. Like
every stand-up show and every podcast.
Like
Like
you
no one
have
can just do the thing.
Yeah, well, it's because it's been done already. Like the normal, like the Mark Maron days of like interview style. It's just like he claimed it. so now it's like, what do we do that's different on our show?
Yeah, we have a wild monkey, and it's just we interview each other and we just kind of react to the monkey, and we just try to get to know each other. And I ask you about your career, but there's a live monkey, so it's just that added layer.
So anything could really happen.
Mm-hmm.
You could get bit.
It's a different monkey every week, so it's not going to be the same moves.
It's also, it gets about 57 downloads on SoundCloud a month.
Yeah,
But
on Libsyn.
But it's the most expensive podcast as well because of the rotation of the monkeys. So it can claim
Right.
that.
And in terms of like monkey aficionados listening, it's the highest rated podcast.
Oh, yeah. It's the #1 monkey podcast in the world.
Yeah, that Venn diagram, this really hits that.
Yeah. So I think Fahim and I have a new venture that we're going to explore.
Yeah, the monkey pod.
The monkey pod.
Just sounds like Rogan's pod.
Yeah,
we
like
went full throttle. He went with soundbite, and we took the ball and ran with it.
Yeah, like all of the merch and everything ends up looking exactly like the Joe Rogan experience.
But it's completely different.
But it's different, guys. We promise.
Like if you wanted UFC, this is not it.
Yeah. Ultimate fighting chimpanzee.
Yeah, but then you get into PETA stuff. That's not
Right. We ran into a PETA issue once on well, it didn't get to the PETA point, but on Roast Battle we did a wave bit with a live rabbit, and we were just ignorant and didn't know that you have to go through like a special animal handler who has a license and all this stuff.
Anything with animals in Hollywood, it's like there's so many channels involved.
Yeah. So we do this bit where I was gonna pull a live rabbit out of Jamar's butt, right? Classic comedy, guys.
Yeah.
So I did it, and after they cut to commercial break, they go, "Please tell us that wasn't a real live rabbit." And we're like, we bought it. It's ours. And they're like, we got letters sent to our lawyers. That was the only time we've ever gotten like legitimately in trouble. They're like, if PETA or somebody found out about that, or they're in the audience, we could get sued. You could shut the entire production down.
It's probably not good talking about it right now. Huh?
It's been passed, and you know the bunny was taken care of by somebody who is like a lover of bunnies.
Right.
We gave it away after the show.
I see. Yeah.
So-
Or we just paid it to keep its mouth shut.
Yeah. Hey, bunny.
Not a word. It has
Not
so
a
many
word,
carrots.
kid. Yeah. Just. Yeah. It was That was an interesting. That was the only time where we got like in a lot of trouble, and it was like specifically because of that, where they're like, if you do this again, you're gonna get sued, like for a legitimate amount of money. And we're like, all right, maybe that bit wasn't worth it, and it got cut. It didn't even air because they couldn't air
Just
it.
clear it through legal and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be too tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys didn't know.
we didn't know. Then later in the season, Todd Barry, he couldn't even. This is what's crazy to me about the animal stuff, though. Even with an animal handler on site, just a cat, Todd Barry could not walk out with a cat. He had to have an animal handler walk next to him with the cat, so he could pet it, and then the lady walked away.
I mean, that's way weirder.
It's so much more weird. Like the whole point of it was he was supposed to be a villainous Bond kind of guy petting his cat.
Yeah.
But with an animal handler in khaki shorts and a shirt, like that doesn't look intimidating.
Changes the bit entirely.
Oh no, it's not even the same bit at all. You're like, what? You're ruining the bit.
Yeah.
Come on.
now it's like he has a problem or something, or like he's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not allowed to be close to the animals.
That's
like
too much.
Something's wrong with that guy. He's even more scary in a weird way. I don't know how this
in a different way
managed to happen. Dude, I've been watching you for years at the Comedy Store, and I've got to say that you do a lot of character work on stage that's phenomenal, and you have a character named Lance Canstopoulos.
Yeah.
That or more of a guy that you know. I don't really know. Like
people
actually,
they say they see some similarities, but he's his own thing.
Yeah, like and I didn't mean to even call him a character. I see him around, and you know, his name is on the marquee a lot.
Right.
Do you ever get jealous
of what he does or the accolades he gets as opposed to me?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but they're different things, you know. Like I understand, I can never do what Lance does.
Right.
We're like, I'm very written. I have things that I want to say. And he can just get up there, and I'm jealous of that he can just sort of show up.
Yeah.
To a gig.
Yeah, he doesn't have
and
to
just
prepare
crush
really.
Harder than I can with years of tweaking and molding a bit and all this stuff and really refining it and cutting the fat and finding nuance, and he could just talk about shitting pants or whatever, or what this guy's wearing, and it'll be better than anything I could ever dream up of.
And it crushes, dude.
Yeah. It's like sheer personality. It's annoying. Like, oh, you don't want to hear these ideas? You just want to see a guy dance and riff?
Now, you guys just did something pretty cool with your sketch comedy group, Goatface.
Yeah.
You guys shot your first special for Comedy Central.
Yeah, we shot it. It's a 1-hour sketch special. So it's supposed to come out in the fall. We don't have an exact date yet. We were just told sometime this fall it'll air. So I want to get an actual date so I could tell people, but I don't know what it is yet.
That's awesome, dude.
Thanks,
Congrats.
man. Yeah, that's been a dream. It's been a dream of mine from the jump. Like, stand-up and sketch are my favorite things in the world. Everything else that has come through in Hollywood are kind of like variants of that. You get an acting thing, and everything's adjacent to what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
But like from the jump, stand-up and sketch have always been my jam, and I've wanted to do sketch for so long. And it's just, I was never able to, because just different things. Like at the beginning of my career, it'd be like, there's too much sketch on air. There was so much, you know, on the come up. And then also they're like, you're not famous enough. And so there's all these things as to why you can't do a thing. And then we were, you know, Goatface. It's me, Aristotle Atheris, Hassan Minhaj from The Daily Show, and Asif Ali. We were doing YouTube sketch years ago together for 2 years, just putting stuff out.
Well, yeah, I remember whenever I moved to LA, so I've been out here since 2009, and I don't know when exactly you guys started putting out sketches, but I was right away, the quality and the look of your guys' sketches, just the way they look, they sound, and the execution just on the funny, all those together, it's pretty rare that you see stand-up comedians be able to deliver a product like that. Usually, like, it might be funny, but the audio sucks.
Yeah.
And you guys found a way to like put out quality sketches. So I was like, who are these guys?
I think that's a testament to Aristotle's cinematic eye and his abilities as a director, you know, who's also in this Goatface Comedy Central thing as well. Just he's a great director and has a great eye, and he's super talented. And so even on the cheap, we were able to achieve that kind of production quality. And I think it's very much in the same vein as Key and Peele, where we really love Key and Peele as well, just because the cinematic feel that they have to all their sketches. Like they could do anything because of Peter Atencio. So he has that eye as well. So it's nice to be able to do it on a TV format now. Just when we got there in New York, because we filmed it in New York, you see all these production vans and lights and all this stuff. And it's like you're on a movie set and you're like, oh shit. Like it didn't feel real until I was on there the first day.
Yeah.
When you see all the money, all the crew. It's insane because we were just 4 guys. Hassan Minhaj was doing boom. He was doing boom mic. You know, I was doing lighting, and I was, you know, Asif was doing, I don't know. We're all just one-man banding it pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of exciting to get to a point where you're like, people's jobs. This is people's jobs. We're employing people.
Well, yeah, you're looking around, you're like, this is all for us?
For sure. And like a sketch I write or something, and then you have a guy, as we're in pre-production, being like, how do you like well, how does this diarrhea look to you, or whatever it is. Whatever the sketch is.
Now the consistency of the diarrhea,
and it's not even. No one's laughing because it's work.
It's work. It's serious.
It's serious.
Yeah.
Like I've got to find
the right texture for this diarrhea.
Yeah.
Like what's going on here?
It's beyond comedy now. Now it's just like a task he has to do.
I think actually one of the prop guys from your special is actually calling into the show.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how to get the number? That's
yeah,
crazy.
I don't know. The podcast reach is crazy.
I guess so.
His name's Hal, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Hal.
Hal?
Hey, Fahim?
Hey, what's up, Hal? Nice
Hey,
to hear
buddy.
from you, man.
Yeah, hey.
Thanks for doing the production.
Yeah, man. Just a few more questions that like before. I know we already shot it, but
Right.
but before it goes into post, we use a couple different options.
Is this for like punch-ins or what? Yeah, why would you need props after the fact?
Well, like I didn't tell you guys, but I used a couple different props, kind of without your permission. And now I kind of need your permission to see which consistency and which objects that you actually want for that specific shot. Does that make sense? So the diarrhea, okay?
Yeah, I
like
remember
we
the
used
diarrhea.
one take, super corny, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then another take, it was a bit more of a leafy consistency. Now we already got what we needed for as far as the diarrhea.
Right.
Now, but the blood, this is what we need to talk about. Do you want it a little bit more of the shade of beet red, or do you want it a little bit more like Vampire Dracula red? Because we use a couple different sprays.
I don't want it fresh because it's gone through the tract, like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be bright red. This isn't an open wound.
Okay.
It's experienced blood,
Right.
but it's passed through the chambers and such and the intestines, so it's
Okay.
not going to be a bright red,
Sure.
but when you see it in the bowl, you'd be like something's wrong.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, something's amiss, but not fresh wound. I've torn my ass apart.
Now, we did this scene where you ripped off a man's arm, okay?
Yeah.
I accidentally may have replaced it with a toddler's arm. Is that going to be an issue? When you ripped off the arm of the man in the action scene whenever
Yeah.
you're like running around the staircase,
Right.
I may have given you a toddler arm that day. Is that going to be an issue in the shot, or should we just stick with the adult one?
I need it to be an adult one. It can't be a toddler arm because it's not going to match. It's going to be obvious that I'm holding. It's not even an
Not
arm.
an
It's going
adult.
to look like a finger I'm holding.
Okay, you're right. You're totally right. Last question. We're gonna do some reinsert shots with somebody that looks like you. A stunt double, perhaps. Is that gonna be a problem? Or we just have to do a couple.
Is this an
insert
action
shots?
scene or is this like dialogue?
I mean, it's dialogue.
So why would we replace me with an action person
I
who doesn't look like me and doesn't have acting experience?
I mean, we didn't think that you would be available to fly back out to New York.
But I shot it already. So why would we need a fucking stunt guy to punch? How would you even? I wasn't wearing green or anything. How would you?
Okay.
How would he be superimposed over me?
It's a little bit more of a replacement shot. I just wanted to run that by you real quick. We just need a couple.
Where is this coming down from? Is this your opinion or is this coming from Comedy Central?
I might have some beef with you.
You're a prop guy. Why would?
Listen, nobody treats the prop guys nicely, okay? I wanted you replaced Fahim. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, just stick to props though. You're
telling me to stick...
I'm telling you to stick to props. Yeah, you're called a prop master, not a casting director to replace me. And I'm not an actor, okay? I'm EPing this thing as well. So you're really outside of your depth right here.
Okay, I forgot that you were producing on this project as well. You know what? I'm gonna go. I feel like I've overstepped a little bit.
Yeah.
My apologies and best of luck.
All right, good luck, Hal.
Were you dealing with a lot of people like that on the production that were?
No, he's kind of very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have not figured out. This is a thing that has been going on my my laptop. I haven't figured out how to silence
The bings
the bings
on your phone or on your laptop?
I guess they're coming from my laptop.
Let me see. It's not from your... I just break it in half because I'm so angry as a guest.
Maybe
I need complete silence.
because the monitor is coming through the TV, but it keeps binging.
What is it on mute? Could you mute your laptop?
I mean, I could. The audio should be going through there, but anywho, bing, bang, bong.
Yeah.
Super professional over here on Jeremiah Wonders. This is Tech Corner with Fahim Anwar. We have Fahim on not so much as a guest for stand-up, but more, what's going on with my MacBook, Fahim?
And then I'm on all the podcasts just troubleshooting for free.
you just have like
All I
five.
ask is that you ask me a few questions about my work, and then I'll just, what do you need?
Yeah. I'll fix your phone. I'll fix your laptop. But we got to talk about my special coming out this fall, okay?
Yeah.
I got to get in where I fit in somehow. Dude, that's awesome. You were telling me before the podcast that the production house, one of the places that you shot at, was where they shot the Schmitz Gay SNL commercial.
Yeah, it was awesome to be there because so we shot in New York because I guess it was cheaper to shoot it out there. It was either there, here, or Atlanta. And Atlanta and New York were kind of tied, but then just New York made more sense. So for some of the suburbia type sketches or where you need a house, there's this place in upstate New York where they shoot a ton of stuff. I forget what it's called, but SNL uses it a ton. And it's the pool where they use for the Schmitz Gay commercial and a bunch of other stuff for SNL too. I think like The Well, you know, the one of the most recent seasons where it's like a boy.
The
like
boy
where
in
they
the
go to
well.
pond. Yeah. But yeah, they have pictures and
The Well for Boys, I think it's
yeah.
called. Yeah.
But it was just so cool right there. I took a picture of it, and then I took some pictures from inside where they have like autographs of different sketches and stuff that SNL has used. A bunch of other stuff has used it too, not just SNL.
How surreal was that being, you know, a huge fan of SNL like myself, to be in the exact same place where you have seen like amazing sketches come from, and you're like, I'm using this space. This is for me. Like I have graduated to the point where I'm using the same production space the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that was very
That's
cool.
gotta feel amazing.
It was, especially because I didn't know it until I showed up there. You would think you'd be prepped like that. Hey, you know, we're going to go shoot in the same thing.
Yeah.
So just we happened to be there. I'm like, what? This is awesome. And then I just got to go to the room where they have all the pictures up and really kind of soak it in like it's a museum or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Is with I'm sure it's kind of similar. There's like some of the back halls of different like big famous theaters, like Madison Square Garden has like different photos of who's performed on that stage. Was it kind of similar, like the different sketches that and different videos and films have been
to
shot,
kind of piece
like
it together, like,
wall.
I remember this sketch and this is here, and like the kitchen is used a lot. We used it for one of the sketches, the kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
we
awesome.
used it for maybe 2 or 3 sketches. There's some outside stuff that we used as well. It's a great multi-purpose house. It's just a nice, beautiful house.
Is there going to be some dancing in this special?
Is there dancing? No, there's no
Fahim,
dancing.
if you haven't seen Fahim, first of all, get on it. But he's a freaking great dancer.
I'm okay. For a comedian, I'm pretty good.
For a comedian,
I think I get a lot of praise just because we're with comics all the time.
Yeah.
And the bar is so low. So I'm like, sure, thank you. But if we were in dance circles, it would be nothing.
I wonder, are you going to do Justine and Heidi's
their show?
Dance show?
I wouldn't mind. It sounds
That
like a
would
lot
be
of
awesome.
fun. Yeah, I've never done it at the Comedy Store. Lance has been a judge for one of them, but
you haven't danced on it before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like that's a no-brainer to me.
I needed it to go to TV before I
Before I considered touching it, I needed to make sure it was a sure
room
thing.
isn't big enough for what I do.
I need a little bit of a bigger stage.
Yeah. But it looks like fun. I saw some pictures from the pilot they shot.
Dude, Josh Nasser, I guess, bleached his hair.
What?
And then
Wait, how long ago was this?
Just a month ago, whenever they shot the pilot.
Wait, so his hair's normal now, though?
Yeah.
Did
he dyed it back.
Oh, okay.
But he went to the spray tan place 4 times for the shoot. So he would be so tan and bleached tips because he did a Backstreet Boys song.
Hilarious.
And yeah. He was telling me about that.
Were you there?
No, I was catching up with him in Montreal, and he was telling me like his process leading up to that. I was like, you must have looked insane because I didn't see. I saw like a picture.
You must have looked insane, or like someone from the early 2000s.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
That's just like
the way he describes it, or the way you're telling it to me, it sounds like a crazy person. But that's what people were doing.
I know.
Yeah, the whole Jersey Shore. Getting that tan, bleach blonde tips and all that.
Were you friends with, or did you know any of those people? Like
Jersey
back
Shore
in like
people?
high school, college, like around that time?
I remember that phase. I don't think if I knew anyone. I know Josh was actually, he lived it. So he's jokingly doing that for the thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
But he went through that Ed Hardy phase.
He used to drive a Hummer and stuff.
yeah. I love that he has a sense of humor about it because you wouldn't think those people would be able to joke about it. Yeah, they would still be living it or just be like, everybody was doing it.
I mean,
I got no regrets.
I mean, it's
I'm
just
just
part
waiting
of
for it
life.
to come back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Not to be like, I can't believe what I was doing. Oh, you should see my closet.
You should see how ridiculous I
Yeah,
look.
I was yoked and I was super brown. Oh, man.
Did you ever do anything with your hair that was weird, like back in high school or grade school or anything like that? Like bleach tips or anything
I
like that?
wanted to, but my dad, he wouldn't. I think me and my brother, we wanted to get frosted tips.
That dude.
Why? That's hilarious. It's so funny just as you get older, these things that were do or die. You needed this in life.
Dad.
This is so important to me, Dad.
Dad, I need
I
this.
need frosted tips.
Okay.
This is going to change everything at school.
Every girl is going to look at me a little differently.
Yeah, like we thought frosted tips would be a game changer or something. And
Yo, who's that guy with
yeah.
the fat dick,
oh my
man?
God. What happened to your tips, Fahim? This changes everything. Oh, yeah, you like them? Yeah, they're kind of frosty. Anybody need their drink chilled?
Wait, the X-Men
Yeah.
has a new character.
Yeah. It's just like Sub-Zero.
Yeah. But only with
only
the
the-
tip.
Whatever you do, just don't have his hair touch you, and you'll be fine.
But wait, I have to touch it.
Yeah, we wanted it so bad, but my dad, he was like, no, you can't have frosted tips. He goes, only gay people. Like, that might be PC. I think you get a pass if you're from a third world country and a dad.
I think, you know what? I think your dad might be calling into the show right now.
What?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like he's on the caller ID.
I think he might be texting us real quick. Just let us know he's calling.
He's texting right now, and you know what? He's very polite.
Yeah. He doesn't want to barge.
He's calling in now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mr. Anwar?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hi.
Did you get my text?
Is it? I just got your text. Yeah.
Yeah, read it to me.
It says, "Hello, Jeremiah." I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Big fan, first time
No,
caller.
I didn't write that. You're lying.
Okay. You said.
I would never write big fan.
Okay. About to call.
Yeah.
Here I come.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it. That's what. That's what it says. That's what I added the fan because of my insecurities.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
low
about that.
self-esteem.
Yeah, I have low self-esteem. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Anwar. But can we get into why you wouldn't let your son Fahim have frosted tips earlier in his life?
Oh, yes, because gay people, they have it.
And you didn't want your son to have that same quality. Is that fair to say?
It is okay if you are that, but not for my son.
Yeah, you just want something
Regular hair.
regular hair. Got it. Now, is there any other styles of hair that you would not allow your son Fahim to have?
Long.
So we can't have now. Now what I will say, I don't know if you are a religious man, but I feel like back in the day, many people had long hair. So what is your issue with a man having long hair?
Not for it.
Okay, you're just against it. There's not really a reason. You just do not want your son having long hair.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you go here in a second. Is there anything else that Fahim tried to ask you as a kid that he really wanted? Maybe it was a video game, or maybe it was a movie that he wanted to watch, but you were like, it was not happening in my household.
Oh, what? Yeah. You want Sega Genesis?
And you did not want to.
Oh,
You didn't want to let him have a Sega Genesis? What's wrong with the Sega Genesis?
school. School.
You're very. Are you like? Are you being?
Old school.
Are you being tortured right now? Because
Sorry, the government.
Because
I call you.
it sounds like you're in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's hard to get these words out.
Not easy for me.
It's okay. You know what? I'm gonna let you go, Mr. Anwar. It was great talking to you.
It was wonderful talking to you.
Great. Well, thanks. I hope you
Big fan.
oh, you are a big fan of the show now. Well, I'm glad that I could turn you into a big fan because this is doing wonders for my confidence.
Okay, great.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Ciao.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
That he called in.
That's I didn't know that you
My
had
dad's. He sounds like Lance.
a little bit. I was surprised how big of a fan he was of the show. He didn't want to admit it at first. And then,
I guess he want to make you earn it or
I
something,
think-
or
I
you didn't
think
want to make
so.
you presume.
I think that's just a father-son relationship right there. He didn't want me to have the keys to the kingdom right
totally.
away.
My dad was that way too. He didn't offer the praise. You just had to really dangle the carrot,
Yeah.
and very rarely get the carrot.
My dad was super strict with us growing up, and I remember my cousin had he had his ear pierced, and we were gonna go out to shoot pool and maybe go bowling or something, and my dad looked at him and he goes, "That earring's not coming with me." He's like, he goes, "You either lose the earring or you're not coming to play pool," and he's like, I just got it pierced like yesterday. I gotta keep it in. I was like, my dad's like, make your decision. You either lose the ring and come play pool with us, or you stay home. And so he took it out and he came to play pool with us. And by the time he got back,
It was all healed
his
over?
ear healed up, and it was completely like it was like it never had happened.
Yeah.
You like hit
To me-
like the Wolverine syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, just closed
But
up.
to me, I just like to picture him saying, "I'm gonna stay home," and he's just staring at a wall with the earring in his ear, like he's like, "I made the right choice."
Didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure he doesn't care now, but those things when you're younger, they
They're
mean so much.
monumental.
My life isn't any different had I gotten the frosted tips, had I not. So it's funny looking back, and it's kind of nice. I'm glad my dad didn't let me get them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents, my mom pushed for it, and I did have frosted tips.
And you
it's,
don't regret it.
it's-
You're like, I'm glad those photos are out there.
it is my worst yearbook photo ever. It's me as a chubby kid with orange. We did it ourselves. My mom did it, so like it wasn't properly like salon like bleached. It was like orangey. And I'm just like this like kind of chubby kid that like I did like a half smile in a photo, and I just have like a couple braces that you can see, and that's my worst yearbook photo.
Yeah. So
Did you take
I
a
don't
really
have
bad
that.
like yearbook photo where you're just like you look back on you're like
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, anything from a while ago or a certain phase of your life, you're like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But it's just life, you know?
Yeah.
No one looks at their 7th grade photo and they're like, killing it.
I'd smash.
yeah. I think senior photo was kind of because kids
Did you
would
do the senior photos?
No, here's what happened because those costed a lot of money.
Same with us.
And my parents, they weren't into that. They weren't into spending a lot of money frivolously or for no reason to them.
yeah.
And they were like, no, we're not going to do senior photos. We'll just go to Sears Portrait Studio. Like, all right. So we go to Sears Portrait Studio and they have different backdrops and stuff. So I forget what the backdrop is, but I'm just leaning on this thing.
Lots of elbows.
Yeah.
Lots
And then I got braces kind of later. I think I got them when I was 18 or 19. And so my teeth are still kind of jacked up. Like my 2 front teeth would do an overlap thing. So I'm smiling. I got the pearly whites out there. I'm like hunched over this thing. There's a Sears backdrop, and you could tell it's a little crooked because there's a straight line in the back where you could totally, if it was aligned, you would see. But so I'm just in front of that. I look weird. Also, I'm super brown when I'm 17. For some reason, I'm able to tan like crazy. I look like a different person. I'm not able to get that tan anymore. It's crazy. Like I show people, they're like, that doesn't even look like you. Yeah. My teeth were so messed up. Like I couldn't, and they were kind of protruding a bit. So I would eat a burger and the onions, if there were onions in it, I would just pull them out. They weren't together enough where I could actually clip the onions. So I would just like pull the mess out of the burger and I'd have to like cut it with my fingers.
So
my fingers smelled great all the
So
time.
mozzarella sticks were your greatest adversary, just like pulling
Not
the
that, 'cause you,
cheese.
you could pull it until it would snap eventually. Yeah, but just trying to chomp on something was a problem.
You started stand up like pretty early, like
Yeah.
like as a young guy
I think I was
in
18.
Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I think you used to have like some really young clips of you.
Oh yeah,
online.
I'm sure there's some
and
of them out there.
There might be, but it's yeah, it's. I think you still had braces on, like, and some of those
I
early.
had them really late though, so I think I posted a clip a long time ago at the Ice House.
Yeah.
Because the Ice House would have a thing in my generation of people who came to LA. There was this thing called Comedy Time, and that was the thing you did when you came to LA.
Mm-hmm.
They would give you 7 minutes at the Ice House to tape your set, and then it would go on YouTube. Angela Johnson got big off of that. Like
Yeah.
her nail salon bit was from a Comedy Time clip.
Yeah, super viral.
Yeah, so I think I was 22. I was 22, but I looked so young at 22, and then I still had the braces on.
Yeah.
And I'm real thin, too. I'm wearing a polo. It looks like I'm swimming in this polo. Yeah. It's just so funny looking back at those old clips. But I have braces in them, and I'm talking weird, too.
Dude, in my early clips, I don't know if you remember, I used to wear a red jacket everywhere.
Hilarious. I almost forgot you used to do that.
Oh, yeah, I've tried to bury it as much as I can, but there's a Laugh Factory clip that's still up that I have the red jacket on.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that funny about stand-up? Just people think when they see somebody, or like Joe Rogan, that they're these fully formed things, and they just came out of some portal, some comedy portal, and this is what they always were.
yeah.
But
And then
but
you go back.
You can't help but try to figure it out as an artist. No one knows what's what at the beginning, so you're just trying everything and anything, and then you kind of lean into what's working, and you slowly become closer to what you are off stage, on stage. But there are still these relics of you getting there.
Yeah, there's a little Easter egg. I used in this upcoming roast battle season. I used the red jacket for something as a little head nod to people who really have followed my career over the years. So that'll be special when that comes out.
It's like you sell a home after each of your sets.
Yeah,
You just hand a lucky couple the keys to a new house.
yeah. So that's pretty
The
dope.
Remax comedian.
Yeah. Here's a giant check. Here you are. Man, you grew up. I feel like we had similar, but obviously different childhoods because we grew up with kind of strict parents.
Yeah.
And you grew up religious, right?
Not
Would you say?
No, not really. It's
or
more
spiritual, cultural.
Yeah, I mean Muslim, I guess, but it wasn't like you have to pray 5 times a day and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It was more about just school centric, and
Yeah, studies are very important. Like
yeah,
straight A's, I'm sure were like very
yes,
important.
very important.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more about that than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you go to like services
no,
like
not even
organized
Yeah.
religion? No.
No,
Interesting.
yeah. My mom taught us about it and stuff, but it wasn't like
It was more of just like you said, cultural, where it's like
more
past.
cultural
Here's the
and
stories.
yeah, or just yeah. There's a familiarity, but not like you got to go to mosque every Friday or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a backbone and stuff, but it's more school driven and, be a respectable person and all that stuff. And
Have your parents ever seen anything that you put out that they've been like, Fahim, like, what are you doing?
oh yeah, like land stuff.
Oh, some of the Lance clips.
Yeah, my
and you're
mom-
like, I can't
yeah, I
control.
go, that's not. I literally told her, I'm like, Mom, that's not me. That's like I don't do that stuff.
Yeah, that's not.
I
That's
agree-
not.
I
That's not
agree with
Fahim.
you.
Yeah, I
Look.
agree. He is disgusting.
Yeah, he's out there,
And he's
I
being-
would never do that.
He's being handsomely rewarded for the grotesque
Yeah.
things that he says.
I go, look, you didn't raise me that way, and that's why I don't do that. So once I explained it to her in those terms, then she kind of got it. But yeah.
So you had a special, your debut stand-up special that came out on CISO.
Correct, yeah.
Does that live somewhere else now where people can see it?
Yeah. So it finally was able to live on different platforms now. So now people can rent it on Amazon and iTunes.
Mhm.
So I think it's like $3 or $4 if you want to rent it.
Nice.
And then it's also on audio streaming as well, like iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. So I like that people are able to access it, because even when it was on CISO, people were like, "How do I?" What do you?
Yeah,
it had
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of things going against it. One, people didn't know what it was, and then people didn't know how to access it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got CISO so I could watch your special and Big J's Crowdwork show that I appeared on with Josh Adamyers and Avery Pearson.
Oh, cool. I got it to see Brent Weinbach's special because that was on CISO as well. So.
And I saw like Joey Diaz. There's some
There was
great
good stuff,
specials on there.
Yeah. And I just
But I'm glad it lives. There's no business like show business, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad it lives somewhere else now.
Thanks, man. And I chopped it up into clips and I just put it on YouTube. So if you go to my Twitter at Fahim Anwar, I think it's the pinned tweet. I just put a playlist and it's my entire special in clip form. If you're super lazy and have no money,
Right. Just go to Fahim's Twitter.
I don't care either way. I don't care how people watch the special.
As long as
I just
they
want
see
people
it.
to see it. Yeah. Like I'm not going to get a ton of money by holding out and saying, buy my special.
Yeah.
I want people to see it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I create stuff, just for it to be seen.
Of course. I mean, the worst thing is putting love into something and something that you care about, and then
There's
you
a
see
fine
on
line.
YouTube, there's like 57. Like whenever I used to put out sketches starting out, like, dude, I would put so much love and energy, and they'd get like 300 views on YouTube, and I'm just like, well, on to the next one.
But you know what it is? Like sometimes that's not indicative of the quality of something you put out there, because I've chopped up my special and it's up there on YouTube, and maybe collectively maybe it has 10,000 or between 10 and 20,000 views. It's not like it's getting seen all the time because people don't know it's out there.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it takes some sort of event to make people know who you are and give a fuck enough to kind of look at the wealth of stuff that you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you've put something out there and doesn't have a ton of views off the bat doesn't mean that it's not good. It just means you haven't had that event to shift the light over into what you're doing. Like Bill Burr was always great, you know, but it took Philly, that event, to kind of, who is this guy? And to recognize it for what it was.
That heckler, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes it just takes some sort of lightning rod event to have people discover what you've been doing. And for me, I hope maybe it's the Goatface special that maybe people that resonates and they're like,
man.
oh, what else has this guy done?
Yeah, I think people are going to really dig and enjoy that. I mean, all you guys like have progressed so much like over the years. Like you've always put out quality stuff, but to see what you guys are all doing individually over the years and to have kind of like this awesome reunion
Yeah, it was
special.
totally unexpected as well, because we were pitching this Goatface show years ago before any of us were anybody. You know, Hassan wasn't on Daily Show. We were doing Goatface for like 2 years, and then we were taking meetings around town, and we were like, "Hey, this is what it is, the Goatface sketch show." And everywhere we went, people were like, "Why is it 4 brown guys?" Like they just couldn't understand. And that's a question you never ask 4 white guys doing sketch. Like, why is it 4 white guys doing sketch?
That's a real question that you would get.
Yeah, like they just couldn't understand. Like they would think that maybe would we have to do all brown shit? And that's like my nightmare. I would hate doing all brown centric sketches. Like,
Well, yeah.
like we have some of that, and we'd be a fool not to, and we do it in a smart way with the show. But I grew up in Seattle. I'm very American as well. I grew up on The Simpsons and SNL. I have very American comedy sensibilities. So I have just weird, absurd stuff that I want injected into the sketch show anyway. But it was just kind of annoying that we would go to these places and no one could see it. And we just hit a wall. After doing something for 2 years and we're doing everything, you get exhausted. And then we got busy. Hassan got Daily Show. Asif was booking a ton of acting stuff, and it just kind of disbanded. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. You know, that could have been a good go. And then I get busy too, booking some acting stuff here and there and doing stand-up. And then I'm walking to the Comedy Store maybe a year ago, or a little more than a year ago. I'm just walking up to the front patio, and Hassan's manager, Jenny's like, oh, hey, like Comedy Central, they want to do a Goatface show. I'm like, what?
Huh?
Yeah. I go,
Like, we haven't even been
just randomly.
We haven't
like
been approaching them lately.
We didn't even go in recently or anything. I go, what? She's like, oh, yeah. Hassan was having dinner with Kent, and I think it just was mentioned offhand, and then he goes, yeah, let's do that. And it just fucking blew my mind. Because when you're on the come up and you're like a younger comic and you could put together a pitch deck with 87 pages of why it will work, and you have all these statistics and all that, and people will pass, and then you get to a certain level though, like Hassan, and you go, oh yeah, I want to do this thing like over dinner. They're like, oh yeah, that's great. Like the flimsiest of just an idea.
Yeah.
And it gets greenlit. So that just shows you sometimes whenever you get a no, it's not a no, it's just a not yet. it just takes stars aligning, some time. Trump getting elected, I'm sure helped. So it's just funny that I kind of thought this thing wasn't going to happen, and then randomly, oh, it's a go. I'm like, all right. So that's the way this town works. Sometimes when you're not expecting anything, the biggest thing will happen.
Yeah.
I think so long as you're just in the game and you work hard and you're a talented person and you're a good person, like things will work themselves out.
That's a great way to look at it. It's not a no. It's not yet.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. That was my biggest takeaway from it.
Let's get into this next segment, fanning out.
All right.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Oh, there's a piece of paper. This is more prep work than a lot of podcasts.
Oh, yes, Fahim. A lot of prep work goes into Jeremiah Wonders.
Do you have an inkjet or a laser printer?
This is an inkjet.
Dude, you got to get the laser. I was doing inkjet for a long time. Laser, It'll change your life.
Yeah?
Yeah, and Jeremiah heads, let him know.
Guys, if you want to send me a laser printer,
let him know how great laser printers are.
email your boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com with the UPS tracking number, and I'll receive it at the Comedy Store.
Are you out of black ink? It's blue.
I'm out of black ink, and I'm using blue ink.
See?
A little behind the scenes of Jeremiah Wonders. Thanks a lot.
This wouldn't happen with a laser.
This is from Instagram, at DuffmanStrong. Hey, long-time listener, first-time commenter. Fahim, would you ever open for yourself as Lance, then headline as Fahim? I think he's meaning to ask, would you ever let Lance open for you?
Right. No, I would not have that happen because I would not be able to follow Lance. Why would I do that? Why would I bury myself like that?
I mean, would you set your ego aside and would you open for Lance?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
I have done that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, La Jolla Comedy Store.
I bet. I bet La Jolla was the perfect
they
spot
were loving
for that.
it. Yeah. And that's fun. I love opening for Lance. I won't do it all the time, but sometimes it's fun just as a fan. Do my set and then let him.
So would the host come back up and do a little bit of time and then
way
you
it
go
happened,
find Lance? Or?
This is how it happened. I was doing my set at the La Jolla Comedy Store, and then Francisco, he was emceeing, or no, he wasn't emceeing. Maybe he was. I don't know what was he. He was doing a set before me.
Yeah.
And then I go, Francisco, you saw him earlier. Give him a round of applause. Everyone claps. I go, he didn't do this joke that I love. It's one of my favorite jokes. Hey, do that joke about like the roommate or whatever. And then he comes back on stage, and then he's like, I wasn't supposed to do this or whatever. So he does that bit, and then Lance,
he appeared.
He's from the back of the room, and then Francisco's up there, and he goes, I'm just getting word that we have a special drop in. This is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Can't Stop Us. Then Lance goes up and then closes it out. And then I'm in the back just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just loving every minute of it.
Just admiring.
Me and Francisco are back there just
dying.
Dying.
Watching the art that's just being produced
unfold.
out of nothingness.
And just knowing I will never attain this. Just appreciate it for what it is. It's like watching a gymnast. I can't do that, but you can appreciate it.
It's why people tune into the Olympics every year. It's something that they can't do, but they still respect it.
Yeah, except for curling. But everything.
Except
We're
curling.
going to get a lot of curling hate mail. Sorry on that one, guys.
Weird, dude. I cannot believe there's a curling fan club that actually follows this show, and they're actually calling into the show right now.
This is a bad faux pas.
It's German. It's Germany's curling team is calling in.
On conference?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, were you talking badly about curling?
No, it was just an innocent joke. I know it's a very difficult sport, and
I
you
heard
guys
exactly
dedicate.
what you just said.
What
okay?
did I say?
You said you had respect for every sport except curling, Fahim Anwar. And yes, I've watched your entire special, and I appreciated all of it.
Well,
Up until this
that
point.
makes me feel bad because you're so familiar with my work.
Up
Like I would have written you off, but you watched my whole special, and
Well,
now I
guess
feel
what?
bad.
I'm going to remove my Yelp review.
From what?
I Yelped your special from
You
YouTube.
Yelped it?
Yes, I
You
did.
can do that?
Yes, maybe.
Whoa!
I did.
I'm just more impressed about the feature on Yelp than.
Did
Well, how
you-
many stars did you give it?
I gave it 5.
Whoa, shit. Well, it was just sometimes you do improv as a comedian, and you will do a joke, and you don't put a lot of thought into it, or the people that you're going
Why
to hurt.
does curling have to always be the butt of the joke for him? You couldn't have said a shot put, or you couldn't have said discus.
I could, But I know you've dedicated a lot of your life to curling, but pulling yourself out of being a curler, doesn't it seem like maybe it's less physically taxing than, say, discus or shot put? You're on ice, so you're doing a lot of gliding.
You should see the size of my forearms and my quads. They are giant.
But we don't know. That could have been at a gym. That may not be from the curling itself.
Curling is very taxing if you're not familiar with it.
I'm sure it can be. I'm not negating that you don't get tired and maybe your knees hurt from all the ice gliding.
I get very swole from curling.
Yeah, I'm not denying you get swole. No one is saying you don't get swole. Just in terms of all the other sports, maybe it's less swole than other. I'm not saying not swole, just less swole.
Okay, Fahim, stay with your point. Even whenever
I apologize.
Okay.
I think it's great what you're doing, that you've dedicated your life to something, and I didn't mean any real harm by an offhanded It wasn't a compliment, but an offhanded insult, I suppose.
All right, well, can we maybe crap on some other Olympic sport to
yeah,
make us
what
feel better
what do the
together?
curlers not like?
We don't like those relay race runners.
Why?
It's like, oh, you have a baton, you're going to, like, trade it off and stuff. It's like, how silly can you be? I mean, really?
Yeah, like they can't finish the whole race themselves.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I need a little bit of a break. Hey, buddy, oh, do you want to toss this off?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I feel better. Thank you for him.
Yeah. Thanks so much, man. I think I like curling now.
I think we both became curling fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Came
really
in hot.
nice guy. He came in real hot.
hot.
You know what? I think after you guys patched it up,
I think it was just a connective bond of shitting on something
he
together.
He just didn't want to be on the outs. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes you just
wanna-
want to relate to somebody.
You want to be on the inside. You want to be the bully.
Yeah,
Not
of course.
the bullier. Or bullied, sorry.
At Alibaba 123 on Instagram.
This sounds like a setup for a comedy.
It really
Like you're going to make up something. Like this sounds like set up to an offensive joke. This is from Ali. Why does your butt smell like a camel?
Hey man,
What?
the guest asked it. I didn't.
Yeah. Hey, this is a real scream.
Hey man, I'm just reading what's on the paper in front of me.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've seen an audience member do?
Craziest thing I've seen an audience member do. Nothing too crazy, man. Like, I mean, one time I was doing a show and some lady, they should have been bounced a long time ago, but on their way out, she tried to throw a glass at me, but it was a plastic Solo cup, so it went like a foot. Yeah, she wasn't familiar with wind resistance, so she tries to throw it at me and just goes, and then I made fun of her for how stupid she is, thinking that would reach the stage, an empty Solo cup.
You being a former engineer, you're like,
let me
listen.
give you the equations as to why you're so dumb.
And you just break it down, like the resistance of the airflow.
But yeah, basically, just gave her a quick science lesson as to why.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I'm trying to think. Have you seen anything crazy?
You know what? Honestly, my craziest thing was through Kilt Tony. Just whenever a guy tried to fight me on stage.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I saw that happened recently, why Red Band hurt his knee. I don't know if you've seen him recently,
Yeah,
but he's been
I always
walking around
wondered.
with a cane. We were at Skankfest, and Tony was about to start crowd surfing for his song. So I start telling people in the crowd, I'm like in full character. I'm telling people, yo, this guy's about to crowd surf. Watch out. He's coming through here. So get ready to, hold him up. And basically, one of the guys that I told, he looked at me and he goes, what? You want me to crowd surf? He was like out of his, I was like, no. He immediately jumps up on stage, jumps right into me, and I'm healing from a broken arm, and I like tried to like push him off, but I'm like so weak. He literally just like hit me, rolled off of me, and went into Red Band's knee and cut his legs out from underneath him. And Red Band was just filming. He was literally in the audience filming with a camera, and he just got his legs like cut out from underneath him, and that's why I forget what he tore a tendon or something like that.
the worst way,
or
man.
like just sprained it or something.
I mean, it sounds like that guy
it was a freak
just
accident.
wanted to live out that fantasy and took the flimsiest of circumstances.
Yeah, I'm like,
he just
somebody
overhears a thing and be like, "What?
I know.
You having a crowd here?"
I'm like, no,
You
I
got it.
didn't even say anything remotely close to that.
And then he still doesn't hear from the no.
Yeah,
Yeah, get ready for me.
yeah. So,
Hold on, I think he's on the phone. He wants to explain his case.
oh, is he? Hello.
Yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah, you talking shit about me, dude?
Okay, something's wrong with your
Hold on.
something's wrong with your
sorry.
Wi-Fi connection. I think.
Sorry, I was in a vortex.
Okay.
Yeah, this better? I'm
Yeah.
out of the vortex now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, was that Skankfest? What of it?
Yeah. Yeah. You hurt my friend's knee, dude.
Yeah, awesomely crowd surfing. What else is new?
Yeah. Nobody asked you to crowd surf. Tony
Not
Hinchcliffe
my
was about
fault
to
that you're
crowd surf.
weak as shit. You couldn't support me.
You jumped
Girl
right into me
arms.
and literally you fell off of me
Yeah,
into
you
my
put your
friend.
hands up. That's what you do.
No, I was trying to guard my face and my nose.
By putting your hands up, but you're weak. And that's why your friend got his knees taken out.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to
You're at
reason with you, dude.
Skankfest. Skankfest stuff happens at Skankfest things.
I mean, that is the motto of the festival.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and you better expect it next time. Otherwise, your tendons are going to shred.
All right, man. Well, I don't appreciate how set in your ways you are. Like, and you're not even apologetic for hurting my friend Brian.
Well, I'm sorry you're so weak and you couldn't hold me up.
Dude, you weighed like.
I'm sorry your friend's knees were made of biscotti.
All right, this is not helping. Now you're making fun of the quality.
With biscotti knees?
Yeah, you're calling my friend. He's saying he has biscotti knees.
Oh, yeah. It's so much fun when you hear it
Are you coughing up blood right now?
Nah, I'm laughing, but it sounds like I'm hurt.
Well, okay.
I'll see you at the next Skankfest.
Yeah, it sounds
Bring
like
your knees.
it sounds like you're not gonna make it. It sounds like you're dying.
Nah, I'm gonna make it.
Oh.
I have a good doctor. I have good health insurance.
All right,
I
man.
work in a coal mine. He's bringing back coal, baby.
All right, maybe you can pay for Red Band's
Ah.
Red Band's hospital bill.
Dude, when Obama's getting worried about, coal going away, we're back, baby.
All right, I'm gonna let you go.
Cold times. These are the cold times.
I don't like what you're doing with that parody song at all.
Why, cold times to the good times?
Yeah, I don't like that
Why?
because it's not fitting. It's a little bit of a stretch,
But you don't work in the
and
mine.
you kind of shoehorned the coal thing. Do you
Hey,
work
they're
in a
both- they're
mine?
Yeah, I told you I work in a mine.
Yeah, I wasn't listening because it feels like you're spewing nonsense in my ear hole right now.
Okay, that's why the elite liberals, you're gonna lose next term.
Wait.
Because,
You're into politics out of
oh,
everybody.
yeah, big time.
I
I'm all
would.
for the tariffs. Sorry, China.
You sound semi-knowledgeable about
Yeah,
what's going on.
Little stuff seeps through every now and then.
I'm a little bit. Are
I
you?
tap the magnifying glass on Twitter, and that's how I get all my news.
Now, do you watch Fox News, CNN?
Oh, yeah, do I watch Fox News? That's like saying, do I shred your friend's kneecaps? Yeah,
Well,
fair and balanced.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried about how well versed you are in politics, and you're still
Yeah,
making
you
the
don't want
current
to come at me,
decisions.
dude.
I don't want to come at you. You've come at me already. I have not fared well.
Yeah, if you put your hands up, it'd be fine.
All right.
I wouldn't be talking to you if you put your hands up.
I'm gonna dump you from
Dude, how
the
many
show.
songs have you heard where they go, put your hands up in the air,
All
and
right,
you refuse to?
I gotta say goodbye, buddy.
All
All right. Goodbye.
right, long-time listener.
Whoa, that's cool.
He was a long-time listener.
That's really.
Wait,
he
wait.
came in hot as well.
Now, was he about if he was about to say that he was a fan of the show, maybe I should have given him a few more seconds. But
Yeah, you're like I opened the entire floor to you.
yeah, but Skankfest draws very interesting people, and that guy was
Well, no shit. You're like, I found Skankfest attendees to be a real interesting cross section of America.
very, very interesting crew.
Yeah,
Dude, there's
what brings you
people-
to Skankfest?
There's people getting tattoos in the basement
Oh, I've
while
seen
other
that.
shows are going on. I was just like,
Tattoos
that was
in the
wild,
basement.
dude.
That should be a band name.
Tattoos in the basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll take a free tattoo.
Dreams in
Where
the
is it?
attic.
The basement. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right, sure, free. Absolutely.
It has to say Skank in some form or fashion.
Well, they have just their logo.
Is that the only tats they're giving out?
No, there's a
You can do
chart.
whatever?
Yeah, there's
Oh.
like Ari Shafir ones.
It's Slim Pickens.
Yeah,
You're like,
there's.
I guess it's free.
I guess I'll take the Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
From Manny H Comedy. Yo, Fahim, do your parents still ask you about returning to Boeing in the LBC?
Well, I like that they know the LBC is where I was at.
Yeah. Because you used to be an engineer at
I
Boeing.
used to be an engineer at Boeing.
Yeah. Do you
in
ever
Long Beach?
like you've been doing comedy for how long now?
A long ass time, like 16 years.
Okay, so 16 years. That's well over, committing to a lifetime career or something.
Yeah.
So
it's beyond a phase. At this
right?
point.
Beyond a phase. So do your parents ever occasionally slip in stuff, or are they to the point now where they're like, you have accolades, you've been in TV, you've been in movies, you have a special coming out?
I mean, it would be so funny if my dad was saying these things. Like, I would shoot him in the head because I would know he's an alien if he was talking like that. Like, you have so many accolades. You've been in things. Where's my real dad? Is it over? Yeah. He's like, I was too nice. I lavished too much praise.
Reprogram for next visit.
Yeah, be more icy next time. No, I think my mom kind of came around more so than my dad, or earlier at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom, I kind of sealed the deal with her when I took her to the premiere for Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I was in that movie, so I took her to the premiere in New York, and she got to meet Tina Fey and Margot Robbie, and it was like a cool, nice little Hollywood summer camp type thing.
Yeah.
That she got to live out. So I think that was really fun for her, and maybe sealed that.
It's interesting what benchmarks affect different family members differently.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
Like
could see
certain
that.
things
Like-
affect people. Like sometimes whenever we're like, really, that's the thing?
Dude, even with other comics as well, because I remember I did late night with Seth, and that was a big thing for me. My first late night set, it was on NBC, and then I did Conan after that sometime, and more people cared about Conan than Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I just feel like
Because a lot of people grew up with Conan.
I did too as well.
Yeah.
But I just feel like so many comedians are on Conan, and it was harder to get on Seth. And then Seth is NBC.
Yeah.
And then less people do Seth, but way more people thought it was more important that I did Conan, even
Yep.
though it's an easier thing.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting to me. Like, oh wow, you put a lot of weight into certain things.
Yeah.
And it's different for every person.
Chris Fairbanks?
Yeah.
So he just did a stand up on the spot like earlier in the year, and it was a great lineup with Joe Rogan and some of those guys. And he told me that, Chris has been killing it for years out here doing different things. And he said that show, more family members from back home in Montana hit him up because they saw him on the flyer with Joe Rogan than like a bunch of the TV stuff that he's done. And he's just like, yeah, man, that's weird. That's like
How
like
did they
a
see
weird
that flyer? The flyer from
because they were I tagged him on Facebook,
Oh.
so people saw him tagged and they're like, "What? You're doing a show with Joe Rogan?" That was
Yeah.
bigger to them than his
For sure.
TV and movie appearances.
Even I did Joey Diaz's podcast when I was promoting the special.
Oh,
And he's
dude.
such a nice guy.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you don't know how deep certain things go. I did it because he's a sweet guy and he was nice enough to let me do it and to ask me to do it. And then I just thought it was another day, another podcast. And more friends from home and stuff hit me up about that than any late night that I've ever done.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
It's just so interesting. You have
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know the lay of the land until after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my mom came around first. My dad, he hasn't hit me up about. He's been a little quieter the past year or two. But before that, even a year or two prior to now, you'd be like, "All right, you can go back to school. I'll pay for your master's.
Wow.
Or medical
And
school.
that's
I'll pay for everything."
That's like 14 years into comedy.
oh yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
And it's funny too because my brother's a dentist, but the deal that my parents had was they'd pay for undergrad, and anything after undergrad we would have to pay for ourselves. So my brother, dental school, took out loans and all that, but the 4 years were paid for by my parents. But my dad, I think 2 or 3 years ago, he's like, "If you go back to school, anything you want, whatever you want to study, I'll pay for everything, masters, and then if you want to go to medical school, I'll pay for all of it." And she's just sweetened the pot, but I'm not going to do it. But that just shows you how desperate he is. Like, look, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't care. I'll pay for it. Anything but comedian.
My dad is now the opposite, and he tries to pitch me jokes now.
Hilarious. Let's hope I don't get there.
He's like, I got another screen.
I got a doozy for
He's
you.
like, I got another screenplay idea for you. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's talk about it whenever I'm back in Kansas.
A pizza came for you, Jeremiah. And then underneath the pizza is his screenplay. Oh, that's weird. Huh? How'd that get in there? Anyways, it's really good.
This is a great question from Twitter @NightForSome. Does he realize how smoking hot he is?
Whoa,
This
really?
is a real question. Does Fahim realize
Jesus.
how smoking hot he is?
I don't.
Yeah.
This perplexes me, because I don't think I am. My life experience does not lead me to. I think these people who believe this have weird taste. They have odd taste.
But you get it occasionally, right?
Not often, but
you're
occasionally, and I don't get it, and it makes me mad. I don't know about mad or just because my life experiences don't match up to this.
Right, you're like,
they don't.
huh?
I think they like comedy, and maybe they like. There's certain things that maybe they like about it, but universally, I'm not like fucking Jake Gyllenhaal or something. And as proof, I was in Dublin, and doing some comedy fest out there, and I was on the dating. I'm not on there much. I'm not really on them in LA or anything, but I was swiping pretty hard, like it was a job out in Dublin. Yeah. 0 matches. We're talking Bumble. We're talking Tinder. 0 matches. So I'm using this photo where I'm like,
You're all crumpled up.
it's like the best photo I have. I'm eating a cake, And it says, "What's up, ladies?"
It's just a gif of you like
Yeah, and it's this raw dog
flicking your
18
tongue.
times. For my, what do you like to do?
Raw dog, raw dog, raw dog, raw dog, raw dog.
Yeah. No, it's a very normal profile, but I don't match with anybody. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to hear, but
Hey, there you go.
I'll
Night-
believe it
night
when
for
I
some.
see it.
Yeah, hit him up in his DMs. Night for some. At hideously normal. That's a real handle. What is your writing process like? And do you still have aspirations of being on SNL one day? If not, do you have any other dream projects?
Ooh, that's a good question. So what was the first part of it?
The first
Oh,
question
writing
is
process?
writing process, and then the second one is do you
SNL?
SNL aspirations or other dream projects?
All right. Writing process, it's evolved over the years. I've gotten to the point now, I kind of know, I don't sit down and write, hey, what's up? They're going to be like, what?
yeah. My wife just walked in. This podcast has been super professional so far. My phone's gone off 6 times. My wife walks in.
No, it just shows that this is real life, We're not some studio phonies.
Welcome to the in-studio living room of Jeremiah Watkins.
Yeah. So then, it's evolved. I used to sit down and write and try to manufacture stuff, but I really didn't need to. I've just gotten good at living life, recognizing an idea, and then jotting it down on my phone. I have Evernote on my phone, which is an app that I have on my laptop and my phone. So anything you update on your phone, it updates to it on the laptop. If you update on the laptop, so it's just synced.
Yeah.
So I have all these notes for different ideas, like sketch ideas or a bit or an Instagram video. So I live life, recognize an idea, write enough words to capture the idea, and then I just kind of flesh it out as I go on stage around LA. I have set lists on there and everything. So it's more about just learning how to capture the butterflies instead of trying to manufacture the butterflies.
Are you a guy that listens back to sets a lot or no?
I mean, there was a
Or
period
you're better
where I
like
wasn't.
taking notes kind of?
I'll record my sets now. It depends. Like if it's late night at the store and I want to work out some stuff,
Yeah.
I'll definitely record because I'm fine tuning and I'm trying to work on things. If it's a show and I kind of know what bits I'm going to do, it's pretty much not going to vary that much. So there's not a ton to be learned. But if I'm purposely trying to work on some stuff, I'll record my set. And if there's something like a bit that has some traction, I'll listen back to it to kind of hear the wording and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's the writing process, I guess. And then SNL, that was the dream. I'm saving an Instagram post that kind of details my whole thing about how I feel about SNL and just like life and because what happened was, I'll do a short version of it, I guess, of what this is a preview of the Instagram post that's coming later.
Hello.
Because
Zoom in.
I wanted to do, because this is head writer for the Goatface special, and I want to screen grab that and then post it, and then also There was this thing where Neil Brennan got me an audition for SNL when they were in LA. So it was at iOS. And this is kind of when Goatface was happening. So I was torn. I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I'm really excited about this Goatface thing. But then SNL's the dream. This is the whole reason I'm doing stand-up and why I got into it. I can't not do the audition. So, I practiced a month or whatever leading up to it, just getting together a set. And then I do it. I do the IO showcase, and I'm happy with it. I think it really represents what I do as a comedian, just at different angles. And I left it out there. That's what I do, and I'm content. I don't get it, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm at peace with it because at least I did what I want. It's not if you do a thing and you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't even do what I want to do, then that sucks when you don't get a thing. But I did what I wanted to do, and then I had the Goatface thing go, and I go, well, at least I get to do this. I'm head writer on it. My boys are writing on it as well. We're EPs. It's our thing. We get to do something that is very new and fresh. There's never been a sketch show. I kind of liken it to In Living Color in that it's the first, because that was such a watershed moment, like that many black performers for a sketch show, really monumental. And then Chappelle's show with the social commentary and all that. So I think it's really important that we're able to do this show. And it may not be SNL, and that's what got me into it, and that was always the dream, but this may be something that is more fruitful and more rewarding. So
because you got to do it your way.
I got to do it my way, and it's my thing. And when you get on SNL, sure, it's great, and no one can ever take that away from you, and it's such an institution. But you are a cog in the machine.
You're going through
You're not more important than SNL, and also there's bureaucracy. There's your first couple of years, you may not get a sketch on because there's a hierarchy and there's a political nature to it. Whereas when it's your own, my sketches are getting on the Goatface show.
Yeah. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah. You have a lot of power. And some of the best sketch shows in the last couple of years have been shows with singular voices and visions, less cooks in the kitchen. There's so many people involved to make a show like SNL, and that's its own art to be able to appeal to that many people. But some of the best sketch shows in the past couple of years, like Key and Peele, or like, Inside Amy, or like Kroll's show or Chappelle's show, those are very few people working on something, and you could really see the voice and the vision. There's definite angles. It's not like for everybody there's funny in specificity as well. So I think the whole gist of it was just because you got into a thing because of a certain thing, if you don't get that, I should have better words. If you don't get that thing, it's not a loss because you could be doing something just as or more rewarding. It's fuel. That's just what got you in the game.
Yeah, it's just the fuel to get you to the next stop and the next destination.
Yeah, it got you on the road.
Yeah.
So look out for that post, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be way more concise.
Last question. My buddy Jared from Kansas City always writes in weird questions to the show. I've never said one of his on the show. I'm going to do it today. This is from @YayPizza on Twitter. Do you ever wish you had an Audi belly button?
Whoa. They know I'm an innie? It's a lot. It's a crack research team. I want to know what video out there.
I don't know, man.
I probably have a few where you could tell I'm an innie.
I don't know.
Let me double check. Yeah, you're right.
Still there.
Still an innie.
Still innie.
Unless I see a hunch.
Whoa, this guy just turned to an Audi.
Yeah. Do I ever wish I was an Audi?
Yeah, that's the question.
I don't think. Does anybody?
I don't think so.
I don't think that's a coveted.
What are the benefits?
Yeah, what's the benefit of being an Audi? I guess maintenance.
So you
not a lot of lint, right?
Yeah,
you're lint proof.
You're just more of like if you attained washboard abs, they could just keep going.
Yeah,
there's not going to be like an insert.
It's almost like a Rolls Royce thing on.
It's another ab.
Yeah, it's a tiny ab.
The tiniest ab. Are we coming up with bits
here? Used to be tonight at the store. And I'm like, it's like another ab. Everyone's like,
and I'm just from the back. I'm like, that son of a gun.
Crumpling something.
Well, this brings us to our final segment, Sax Talk.
Oh, yeah.
Sax Talk. Oh, yeah. It's that Sax Talk time with Fahim Anwar. He's going to share a story of possibly something sexual, possibly not, during this sexual encounter of Sax Talk, and I'm going to play some sweet, sweet saxophone underneath. Fahim, take it away, and I will follow.
All right. This isn't very lascivious. This is kind of innocent. It's just a funny anecdote, I guess. Oh, I get to go? I don't know how many years ago this is. Maybe this is 4 years ago. Maybe 5. That'd be funny if I just debate how long ago this was for the entirety of Sax Talk. Maybe it was 5.5. If only there was a way to know. Facebook memories. That's a good anchor point. Jay Davis is a comedian out here in Hollywood. He also puts on some of the hottest shows. Some of the hottest women come out to these too. Every comedian knows about this one show. At the Parlor. It's not really going on anymore. But back in the day, you best believe if you were a Monday night person, that's where you'd be. A real who's who of Instagram Hollywood. Yeah, so I was on the show. And I did stand up on it. And I crushed. Crushed harder than a can crusher. Oh boy, so met these girls afterwards. They were like, good set. So funny. I was like, thanks. What else is fucking new? You have ears? So yeah, things went well. I got the number of one of them, right? And then I had another show the next day, so I figured. She said, let me know next show. This is that. Fired off the text. So, sometimes I'm trying to play jazz. Yeah, I'm not a good jazz player. So, I invited her to this show. It's the very next day. She comes to the show because she thinks it's like a Jay Davis, another type of Jay Davis show. Where you go there to be seen, and it's more about the audience than it is the comedian, where you like dress up nice. So she comes like she's dressed like she's going to a nightclub. But it's this shitty bar show, and there's maybe 3 or 5 people at this show. And it's a complete departure from what she saw the night before. She thought she was going to get that, but it's this completely other thing. So it's just super sad. She got to see me in the Jay Davis light, and then she got to see me at this bar show in front of like 3 or 4 people, which is, this will make you sober up very quickly. And yeah, so I never heard from her again. She didn't remember the Jay Davis show. She just remembered the bar show with 3 people. I never saw her again.
Wow, some fake dating in L.A. from Fahim Anwar.
Well, it's not like that would ever last. Where you go, I met my wife at a Jay Davis show after a show where you go there to be seen.
Well, yeah, so it's interesting. Sometimes I'll do, I think we all do these shows around Los Angeles where you are doing material and then it only starts doing so well because you're not riffing and talking about that crowd.
Oh yeah, there's definitely crowds
literally,
that are like, please address us.
It's like it's this huge fall off. You'll start doing well, and then like they realize like slowly like, oh, it's not about us anymore, and they start slowly tuning out, and then you're like, you start riffing and talking, and then you just start killing again. You're like, what?
Yeah,
so weird. I feel like that's more of an LA thing.
I think that, and then that parlor show was definitely that as well. When it's so well lit,
yeah,
and there's all these gorgeous people in the audience, of course they want it to be about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I dressed up for this.
Every other waking moment of their life is about them anyways. So why should this hour block be any different? You know?
Yeah.
I always think that's the thing about LA is that you can't even give up. Most of the time it's not like this, but there is those shows where they can't even go 2 hours without having attention.
Yep.
And you fucking came here to be an audience member.
They're
But I guess you didn't have it in here.
They're used
you
to
had
being
it in here, but not here.
They're used to being liked on social media all day.
Yeah, like,
so they're
this
not
is the
used.
longest I've gone with no likes.
Yeah.
Ah! Like that's the yeah.
Please talk to me.
It's just 30 minutes have gone by with no likes and just no addressing of their life, and they go, yeah, that's what I said. And then
You're
it's
like,
a thing.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have to make it fun so that you're not
A dick.
There's this line you have to walk as
This
a
is
comedian.
the weirdest line.
What? Oh, that you have to walk
just walking that line of like not coming off as a dick whenever you deal with.
to defend yourself, but not turn the audience where they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
too far, comic.
Yeah. Well, dude, loved having you on the show today, man.
Thanks for having me.
Do you want anything to plug outside of the Goatface special that will be dropping on Comedy Central this fall?
Yeah, I wish I had a date for you for that. But yeah, please check that out, the Goatface 1 hour sketch comedy special. And then my special, which is on CISO, No More. You can find on Amazon or iTunes. Or just, I tell people, go to my Twitter, @Fahim Anwar. And then I have the playlist of the entire special is right there pinned at the top. So check that out. Yeah, Instagram, @Fahim Anwar. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll see you at the store. Are you there tonight?
Yeah, on at 12:45.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm 11:30 or 11:45. I'll see you there.
Yeah. See you there, buddy.
Yeah.